Mr. Manjunath Sekhar is the project manager, Green Urban Mobility Innovation Living Labs. A warm welcome to Mr. Manjunath Sekhar, please.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Rajesh and Jose, for having this event. Yes, after a long time, we're able to see people face to face, and it's a nice feeling. It's also very odd after seeing so many people gathered in a room after a couple of years. So, I will be talking today about the Green Urban Mobility Innovation Living Lab, which has recently been set up along with Bosch in Bangalore. I represent GIZ, which is the German International Cooperation Agency. So I just spend the next few minutes, hopefully under 8-9 minutes, to just introduce you to this living lab, and with the hope that we'll be able to collaborate and see what we can achieve through this living lab. So just to broadly introduce GIZ, this is an international cooperation agency. GIZ has been working with the government of India for over 60 years now, and also working with various other governments across the world. Largely, GIZ works on behalf of the German government, but also works with EU, UN, and other national governments. In India, our sustainable transportation and mobility space, we have 5 programs running. In fact, the 5th one, which is SUM ACA, is going to start shortly. But very quickly, we have the Smart SUT, Sustainable Urban Transport Systems, which is being done along with MOHUA. Green Freight, which is not just addressing the large bulk cargo or containerized cargo, but also freight which is moving within cities, which could even be a waste, the municipal waste. The Transport Initiative for Asia, e-mobility, and an extension of e-mobility is SUM ACA, which is looking at climate change access in the mobility space, a sustainable urban mobility space. As part of this presentation, just to give you a context of the Living Lab and why this was set up and why we are intent on taking this up in India. Looking at the background, which is the urbanization in India, the urban mobility partnership between Government of Germany and Government of India, the Living Lab, the focus areas, our KPIs, and the stakeholders. Yeah, so this, as Jose wanted, we are starting off with some statistics for all of you to see. We are looking at an urban population of 867 million people by 2050, which is close to doubling from the 2018 figures. This, while it gives you a perspective of the size of the population, I think it doesn't really capture the possible increase of traffic and transportation requirements on the roads, because obviously a lot of freight would also move. So this just gives that context to us. 18 Indian cities are in the top 25 most polluting cities in the world based on the 2020 World Air Quality Report. 40% of the urban pollution is contributed by transportation alone. And just yesterday, we were having a detailed conversation with the air quality team at Bosch. Their analysis of certain areas in Bangalore, especially the hotspots, they've done this along with the KSPCB, the Karnataka State Pollution Control Board study. The transportation's contribution to pollution is upwards of 60%. So, in that sense, our work is really cut out in the mobility space to target both decongestion as well as air quality. We have 1.6 million deaths because of air pollution in the country and 150,000 deaths because of road accidents. The Green Urban Mobility Partnership is something that was started between India and Germany back in 2019 with the then Chancellor's visit to India. The stakeholders being MOHUA, essentially, GIZ, the Ministry of Economic Cooperation in Germany, and KfW, which is the financing agency of Government of Germany. The objective is to speed up construction of sustainable transport infrastructure, rollout of e-buses, and integration of various modes of seamless travel in the urban space. There is a budget of 1 billion euros along with technical support, which is over and above this funding that's available at concessional rates to the Government of India. The Living Labs focus areas are large part of our focus is going to be capacity development, ITS and data analytics. We need to look at how data-driven solutions can be implemented in the mobility space, and I think going forward, as everybody says, including our Honorable Finance Minister recently, that data is the new oil. E-mobility will continue to be our focus as well at the Living Lab. Road safety, reducing GHG emissions, as I mentioned, multimodal transportation and UMTA, which will be helping possibly the Government of Karnataka in its policy development as well as helping them on the regulatory front. Mobility as a service, which MOHUA, Government of India, is trying to push quite a bit lately, and they are looking at piloting something in Bangalore, which we are very keen to collaborate with them on. NMT, public transport improvement, and finally peer-to-peer learning and knowledge exchange. At the lab, our goal is to have some framework conditions for improved mobility services. At the end, our goal is to look at smart, sustainable and affordable mobility services, hopefully with collaboration, getting in innovators, bringing in new innovation and technology along with our government partners and trying to implement it. So our objectives, first of all, to establish a multi-stakeholder platform at the Living Lab. So it's not just going to be between GIZ and Bosch. Right now, it's just the two of us, which will be, which is under the Government of Germany's PPP program. So we intend to have a lot more stakeholders and partners for this lab. Prototyping and showcasing. So that's another key objective that we at the lab have. To prototype, to help prototype new ideas, innovations, technologies, and try to implement it at least at a pilot study level. Technology adoption, we intend to enable or help our government partners to adopt these technologies. Environmental impact in targeting air pollution and having our target as far as the Living Lab is concerned is to achieve at least a 10 to 15% reduction in air pollution. And finally, capacity building, where our target is to have at least 50 government officials across not just Bangalore, but also rest of the country, trained in the work that we are doing. Our stakeholders, we are looking at everybody. Of course, government plays a much larger role here because we are trying to help the city of Bangalore. Industry players, large established players, startups, innovators, entrepreneurs, we want to invite them and partner with us. Like I said, startups and innovators, users and citizens, a large part of our stakeholders, and the underprivileged. Like I said, our goal is to have smart, sustainable, and affordable mobility. This brings me to the end of my presentation, but I'd also like to take this opportunity to say that we have the public launch of our Living Lab on the 25th of March. And thereafter, obviously, we'll have an open platform, we'll have our website open and running. You'll be able to contact us. In any case, I'm here for some time, so you can speak to me. You can see our website and reach out to us on how you'd like to collaborate with the Living Lab and see how we can help the city of Bangalore improve its mobility situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Manjunath, for your presentation and talking about this lab, and wishing you all success also when you commence the activities in the lab.